type initial outlay, press the cursor, and the period is 0, then press equals, click on land and buildings at cost plus machinery cost. Press enter. After adding up those two values, you press what? You press enter. I've said you bring the cursor down here, press equals, click on land and buildings at cost plus machinery cost, and then you press what? You press enter. So that is the value of your initial outlay when you combine the machinery and the land and what? And buildings. Now the next item here we are going to come up with in the computation area is the depreciation schedule. So you are going to type here depreciation what? Depreciation schedule. Depreciation schedule. Depreciation what? Schedule. And in the depreciation schedule, you have the depreciation expense. Depreciation expense. And then below that, you have the written down value. The depreciation expense and then written down value. Coordinator, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay. You remember I represent the class. So when I ask coordinator, are you there? It means I'm asking you guys, are you there? So now after typing the depreciation, the depreciation schedule, I'm not going to say type the depreciation schedule in the cell of B23 because it also disturbs people. You can type depreciation schedule anywhere. Then then below depreciation schedule, we have the depreciation expense, and they press the cursor in the period 1, under period 1, because you calculate the depreciation in the period, you charge the depreciation at the end of the year. You charge depreciation at the end of the what? At the end of the year. Now, what method of depreciation are we told to use when you look at the question?
Year-digits method.
Sum of the year-digits method. So press the cursor under period 1. Depreciation expense, press the cursor under period 1. Then you click on formulas, financial, and then you look for SYN. SYN is the sum of years depreciation method. Look for SYD. SYD returns the sum of years depreciation of an asset for specified what? Period. So click on formulas, financial, and then you look for SYD. Formulas, financial, SYD. Formulas, financial, SYD. Formulas, financial, SYD. Now click on SYD. Click on SYD. SYD. WDV is written down value. Written down value equals to cost minus accumulated depreciation. Now cost, go and click on machinery at cost, machinery dash cost. Cost, click on machinery at cost, which is 88,500,000. And we are going to calculate depreciation for only one period. We are calculating depreciation for only one period, and then we are going to autofill. That means when I go to year 5 or year 6, still the cost will be the what? The same. So that means I have to fix this cell. So after clicking on the cost, you press F4 if your computer fixes using F4, or FN F4 to fix that cell. Then after that, you click on salvage. Salvage, when you go to the input area, we have the salvage. And our salvage is 0. In the question today, salvage, you are given is 0, but next time they will give you a value. That is not a problem. If you are given a 0, use a 0. If you are given a value, type that value. We also need to fix salvage. We also need to fix what? Salvage. So FN F4, and then you go to life. We also have the machine life, which is 14. So you click on 14 and also fix that FN F4. And then after that, you go to PAR. Remember, we said last time that PAR is the period in Excel. PAR is the period in what? In Excel. So coordinator, you're calculating depreciation for which period or for which year?
For the first year.
Yes. Now when you reach PAR, you click on this one. And the last time I told you, we rarely fix the period, because if you fix that, it means when you scroll and go to period 8, the computer will still use period 1. Yet when I scroll and go to period 8, I wanted the computer to use period what? 8. So PAR, you click on period 1 because you are calculating depreciation for period 1, and do not fix that. Then after that, you click on OK. After that, you click on what? OK. And then you have this depreciation. If I don't want the currency symbol, I'm going to click on the value I've got. I'm going to click on the home tab. And then I'm going to click on the comma style. So what I'm saying is that this is my depreciation. On my computer, I have got use SH. This on others, you have a dollar symbol. On others, you have etc, etc. So click on this value. First, click outside the value, click on the value, click on the home tab, go where there is number, click on the comma style. And then after that, click on the value you have got, anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you drag up to period what? Up to period 12. If you get this hash, click on the home tab, comma style, and then the depreciation values will appear. So that's how you get the depreciation expense. I've said for you to calculate, because someone is saying, pardon, SYD, I've said press the cursor under period 1, click on formulas, financial, then look for SYD. SYD is the, I will return the sum of years, it's depreciation what? Depreciation expense. So SYD, and then you get the function arguments for SYD cost. You put in the cost for the machinery, which is 8,500. You click on it. After that, you press Fn or F4 to fix it. Then click on salvage here. You also have the salvage, and your salvage is 0. Also fix that, Fn, F4 or F4, and then you click on life. Life is what? You have the life here, which is 14. So click on 14, Fn, F4 to fix it. And then you go to PAR. PAR is the same as period. And I'm calculating depreciation for period 1. So I'm going to click on 1 here. And I'm not fixing the period. So you click on what? You click on OK. And then if you get US or dollar symbol, what, you just click on this value, click on the home tab, number, comma, style, reduce the decimals, then you click on this value, and then you auto what? Then you auto fill. So that's how you get the what? That's how you get the depreciation. The problem is when some people are attending their first lecture, and even fixing is a problem. So let us go to written down value. What is your written down value in the period is 0? Oh, let me give you a minute so that you catch up with your friends. I believe now everyone is okay. Coordinate. Hello.
A minute, Doctor.
Still need more time. Can we proceed now?
Yes, sir.
Now we got written down value in the period is 0. What is your written down value in the period is 0?
It's the cost. It should be the cost.
Yes. So press equals. Then go and click on the cost. Press equals, then go and click on the what? On the cost, machinery cost, and then press enter. And then you press what? Enter. So now, what is your written down value in year 1? Or how do you get the written down value in year 1? Yes? Coordinator,
Yes, please.
how do you get your written down value in year 1?
It is the cost minus the accumulated depreciation.
Yes, so press equals. So written down value in year 1 equal to written down value in year 0 minus the depreciation expense. And then you press enter. Let me repeat. I've said written down value in year 1 equal to written down value in year 0 minus the depreciation what? Expense, and then you press what? Enter. Now click on the written down value in year 1 you have got. Click on the written down value in year 1. Click on the written down value in year 1 you have calculated. Press the cursor on the auto fill icon, and then you do what? You drag up to period 12. So now I want you to highlight this value here in the period, the written down value in the period 12. The reason why you come up with the depreciation schedule is 1. You want to establish the written down value in year 12 because the project's life is 12, but the machine life is 14. So at the end of the project's life, you have to sell off this asset. And it is assumed that you dispose of the asset at the written down value. And now this written down value will be a cash inflow in year 12. The written down value will be a cash flow in year what? In year 12. written down, when you get the written down value in year one, I've said written down value in year one equal to written down value in year zero minus the depreciation expense, and then you press enter. Now click on the written down value in year one, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you drag. These other written down values will what? Will appear automatically. So that is our depreciation what? So I want you to highlight this value, the written down value in year 12, because the written down value in year 12 will be a cash inflow. Good, so that is our depreciation schedule. Next, we need the revenue schedule. So we'll come here and type revenue schedule. Revenue schedule. Revenue schedule. Revenue schedule. I believe we are okay. Coordinator, are you okay?
Yes, I am.
Great. Then type revenue schedule. Now, what determines your revenue schedule? I mean, what determines your total revenue will be the production cost, or your production costs will determine the revenue. So here we are going to start with the production units. Production units. And then you press the cursor under period one. How many units are you producing in year one?
$22,000.
22? Okay, type production units. Then press the cursor under period one. Do you have the production units in the input area?
Yes, we have.
Okay, so press equals. Now, when you are building a model, you don't need to type these units manually. Remember, you have them in the input area, so you have to go and pick them from the input area. That's what we call a model. So that when you change an item in the input area, the entire model will what? Will change. So production units, press equals. Production units, then press the cursor under period one, press equals. Go and click on the production units from the input area, which is 22 what? Which is 22,000. And then press enter. So in simple terms, I've picked the production unit from the input area to the computation what? To the computation area. Now, if the rate of increase in production is 23%, what would be your production units, or how do you get the production units in year two?
It should be the units that were produced in the first period plus the percentage increase in those units.
That is okay. So we write one formula, press the cursor here, press equals. Production units in year two equal to production units in other words, if I get 23% of 22 plus 22, I'll get the production units in year what? In year two. So press equals. Have you managed to press equals? Is the coordinator on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, press equals. Production units in year two equal to production units in year one plus open the brackets. I've said production units in year 2 equal to production units in year 1 plus open the brackets production units in year 1 again plus open the brackets, click on the production units in year 1 again times the rate of increase in production units, which is 23%, times the rate of increase in production units, which is 23% from the input area. So after clicking on 23%,
production units. This is the production cost.
times 23%. So after clicking on 23%, we have to fix that cell. Because when I go to year 7, I'm instructing the computer that when you reach year 7, pick the production units in year 6 plus the production units in year 6, go and multiply by 23 per what? Go and multiply by 23%. So after clicking on 23% from the input area, press Fn, F4 to fix that cell, or F4 if you are using a PC. If you are using a desktop computer, you press F4. If you are using a laptop, you can either use F4 or Fn, F4 to fix the 23%. Close the bracket. And then press enter. Close the brackets and then press what? Enter. So in year 2, you'll be producing 2760 units. So click on the value I've got, anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you drag up to your what? Up to year 12. So those are the units you'll be producing in year 12. Let me give you a minute to help one another before we can proceed. Good, let us proceed. Next is the selling price. Selling price. Now production units will come in year 1 because actually you have the units when you start producing. But selling price will come in year 0 because this is the planning period. You determine the prices and the costs during the planning stage. But production will be sure of what to produce when you actually go ahead and watch and produce. So selling price, the reason why we are bringing selling price down is 1, because our selling price is affected by the inflation. So we have to determine the selling price per year, or what will be the selling price per year, because our selling price is being affected by what? By inflation. So selling price, press the cursor under period 1. We have to pick the selling price from the input area. So coordinate, how do I pick the selling price from the input area to the computation area?
you click in period 0.
Under
That
period
is
is 0.
Then you press equals.
You press equals.
Then you go to the input area.
You go to the input area. And then,
Where
you
there
click,
is selling price.
and then I
and
click
you
on the
click
selling
the-
price. On the value, not on the word selling price.
Yes,
Then you press what? Enter.
enter.
Thank you. So that is my selling price in the period is 0. So I have to calculate the selling price in the period 1. So my selling price in the period 1 is affected by inflation. So I'm planning to charge 8,450, but because of inflation, by the time I'll go ahead and produce items, my selling price would have changed by the inflation what? By the inflation rate. So how do you get the selling price in year 1?
So you said that the inflation rate increases prices by that percentage. So I think I have to say equals selling price in period is 0.
Selling price in the period is 0.
Period is plus
Plus
selling price in period is 0 then still.
plus open brackets.
Selling price in period is 0.
Selling price in the period is 0.
Times
The inflation rate in the first half of the project's life.
the first half, the one that we pick in the input area,
Which is 10 per what?
10%.
We need to fix that cell.
Yes, and then we fix that.
So after clicking on 10%, you press Fn F4 to fix the cell. Close the bracket and then you press what? Enter. Enter. Click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you drag. We drag up to here what?
Just 6.
Up to year 6. Why are we changing? Why are we dragging up to year 6?
It is because it's the inflation rate for the first year to 6 years.
Okay. Because the inflation rate changes from year 7. The inflation rate changes from year what? From year 7. That's why you have to drag up to year 6.
Hello?
Hello? Yes. We are dragging up to year 6 because the inflation rate changes from year 7. Can we proceed?
Yes, sir, we can proceed.
Okay.
So Aminat, sir.
Sawa. So let us calculate the selling price in year 7. Selling price in year 7 equal to selling price in year 6 plus, open brackets, selling price in year 6 times the rate of inflation in which half? First half, second half? Hello?
Second half, not first half.
I believe now we are at the same level. So times the rate of inflation in the second half of the project's, I mean the second half of the project's life, and that inflation is 13%. FNF4 to fix that cell. Close the bracket and then press enter. So click on the value I've got. Anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon and then you do what? You drag up to period what? Up to period the 12. So that is your selling price in the period what? In the period the 12, 31,166. So now we know the unit selling price. We know the production units, we know the unit selling price. So our next item is to determine the total revenue. Total what? Total revenue. So how do you get the total revenue in year 0? How do you get the total revenue in year 0? Coordinator, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. We get the selling price times the production units.
So total revenue equal to production units in year 0, which is a blank cell. Total revenue equal to production units in year 0, which is a blank cell, times the selling price per unit times the selling price per what? Per unit. And then you press enter. So click on the value, it is a 0 because we are not producing anything, not so?
Yes.
Since you are not producing anything, so the total revenue is 0 in year what? In year 0. So click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you drag up to your what? Up to your 12. So you can click on the comma style and then reduce the decimals.
Saving price information.
So if you know how to board and to change the, I've said the total revenue equal to production units in year 0, which is a blank cell, times the selling price per unit, and then you press enter. Then you click on this value, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you do what? You drag. So if you know how to board, you can board these values and you change the highlight color. If you don't know, just admire your friend's work, simple. So that is our revenue schedule. We need the total revenue. Then next we go to the cost schedule. Hello, are we together?
Yes, sir, we are together.
Okay. So we go to the cost schedule.
No, sir.
So after total revenue, now type cost schedule. Then we have production costs. Production cost. So Production cost will also bring the production cost in the period 0, because this is the planning period. This is when you determine what to charge. So press the production cost, press the cursor under period 0, press equals. Go and click on the production cost. And the production cost is 4,430, press enter. And then you calculate the production cost in year 1. So how do you get the production cost in year 1? Coordinator, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
So how do you get the production cost in year 1?
It will be equals to
Equal to
the production cost in year 0
production cost in year 0
plus
plus
open brackets
open brackets
the production units cost in year 0
production cost in year 0
times
times
the rate of increase in production cost
square of per
under
what?
the input area.
And then we fix it. So
Yes.
after clicking on 12%, you press F4 or F4 to fix it. And you close the bracket. Press enter. Click on the value I've got, anchor. Press the cursor on the autofill icon and then you do what? You drag up to your what? Up to your 12. And then next is the distribution cost. Distribution cost. Distribution cost in year 0 equal to. Go and click on the distribution cost from the input area. And then you press enter. So let us calculate the depreciation cost in year 1. The distribution cost in year 1. Are you there? Who did it? Hello?
Yes, sir, we are there.
Hey. So distribution cost in year 1 equal to distribution cost in year 0 plus open the brackets. Then distribution cost in year 0 times. What I'm saying is that distribution cost in year 1 equal to distribution cost in year 0 plus open the brackets distribution cost in year 0 times the rate of increase in distribution cost, which is 14 per what percent, and then you fix that cell. You press Fn, F4 fix that cell, or Fn, F4 close the bracket. And then press enter. Click on the value I've got anchor. Click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you do what? You drag up here, 12. Now, note that for you to produce 1 unit, you need to incur the production cost, you need to incur the distribution cost. So at the end of the day, you need to determine the unit product, the unit production cost, or the unit cost. You need to determine the unit what? Total unit cost. Total unit cost. So for you to produce 1 unit, you incur the production cost and the distribution cost. So at the end of the day, you have to determine how much to incur per unit. That is the total unit cost. So how do you get the total unit cost? How do you get the total unit cost?
The total unit cost will be equal to the production cost plus the distribution cost.
Yes, equal to production cost plus the distribution cost. And then you press enter. Click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you do what? You drag. So that is the total unit cost. Then we get the total production cost. The total production cost. For you to produce 1 unit, you need to incur 6,000. So how much do you need? Oh, in year 1, for you to produce 1 unit, you need to incur 6,751. So how much do you need to produce 22,000 what? 22,000 units. My production rate should be what? 12. Production rate is 12. Production, I've used the word 14. Rate of increase in distribution. Yeah, I've used the rate of increase in production, I've used 12. Rate of increase in the distribution, I've used 14. So that's what I have used is the correct percentage. Someone has just in the chat room, someone was complaining. So how do you get the total production cost, coordinator? How do you get the total production cost? Hello?
I'm not sure, sir.
For you to produce 1 unit, You need 6,000 in year 0 altogether. You need
Yes.
6,751 in year 1. So how much do you need to produce 22,000 units in year 1? That is my question.
It will be equals
Equals
the total unit cost
total
times
unit
the
cost
production.
times the production units. So in year 1, total production cost equal to total unit cost times the production units in year 0, which is a blank what? Which is a blank cell in this case. Then you press what? Enter. We have said that total production cost equal to total unit cost times the production units. And then you press what? Enter. So click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you do what? And then you drag up to your what? Up to your 12. So you can bold these values and change the highlight color. You can bold these values and change the highlight what? And change the highlight color. So we know the total revenue, we know the total production cost. So the next item is the computation area. So we go to the computation what? I mean the output area. So here we have the output area. Output area. In the output area, we have the cash flow schedule. Then total cash inflow. Total cash outflow. Can we proceed? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can proceed.
Good. Now, what is your total cash inflow in year 0? What is your total cash flow in year 0? Or what constitutes?
Initial outlay.
In year 0, is there any flow?
Sorry. There is no any inflow.
Come again?
There is no inflow in year 0.
So your total cash inflow in year 0, or what constitutes your total cash inflow is the total revenue. What constitutes your total cash inflow is the total what? Is the total revenue. So press the cursor here, press equals, go and click on your total revenue in year 0, which is a what? Is 0. Then press enter, click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you drag up to year 11. In simple terms, you are picking these values from the input, from the computation area to the output area. Do you know why we are dragging up to year 11, up to year 11 and not year 12? Why are we dragging up to year 11?
Because there is some other cash inflow
In year 12.
for the disposal. Yeah.
So in year 12, we have two cash inflows: the written down value from the depreciation schedule and the total revenue. Is that okay? So press the cursor here. Let us get the total revenue in year 12, the total cash inflow.
Sir, where are we stopping in year 11?
That's what someone has just explained. That in year 12, we have two inflows. Nakano ajisilivia. Mute. So when you go to year 12, when you go to year what? To year 12, there are two cash inflows. The written down value, the reason why you came up with the depreciation schedule, you wanted to see the written down value. Because when the project ends, you are going to dispose of this asset. And the amount you are going to collect is the cash inflow and then the total revenue. Is that okay now?
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Okay, so in year 12, press the cursor. Total cash inflow in year 12, press equals. Click on the written down value in year 12 plus the total revenue. So you add up those two values. And then you press what? You press enter. So that is your total revenue, total cash inflow in year 12. Then you go to total cash outflows. What constitutes your total cash outflow in year 0? Let me give you a minute to catch up. Good. So I've said we stop in year 11 because in year 12 we have two inflows. We have the written down value of the asset and the total revenue. Because when the project is ending, you have to dispose of the assets. These assets disposed of would constitute what? Cash inflows. Or the money collected will constitute cash what? cash inflow. So what is your total cash outflow in year 0? Kabura,
Is equivalent to the total costs.
the initial
The
outlay.
corresponding production.
Musoka Johnson.
Outlay is the cost that they incurred in the.
Come again.
The total initial outlay.
Equals
The
so
cash outflow.
total
year
cash
0.
outflow equal to the initial outlay from the computation area. Total cash outflow in year 0 equal to the initial outlay in the computation what? In the computation area. Total cash outflow in year 0 equal to the initial outlay in the computation area. Press enter. What constitutes your total cash outflow from year 1 up to year 12? Yes?
Production costs.
Yeah. Now from year 1 up to year 12, your total production costs constitutes the total cash outflow from year 1 up to year 12. So press the cursor here, press equals. Total cash outflow in year 1 equal to, you click on the total production cost. You click on the total production what? On the total production cost, and then you press enter. So click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon, and then you do what? You drag up to your what? Up to your 12. In simple terms, you are picking these values from here to this point. So that is our total cash outflow, and then we get the net cash flows. Net cash flow. So how do you get the net cash flows?
It will be the cash inflows minus the cash outflows.
Equal to total cash inflows minus total cash outflows. Then press enter. Click on the value I've got anchor, press the cursor on the autofill icon and what? And drag. If you know how to bold these values, bold them. And you can also change the highlight color. Now, if you look at the finance books, if you look at the finance what? Books, in most cases, you are given the net cash flows, and you will never appreciate how these cash flows are what? Are generated. But here we have to generate these net cash flows, and then we go ahead and then do what? And appraise the project. So that's how you get the net cash flows. And after getting these net cash flows, now we can go ahead and calculate the NPV, the IRR, etc. So come here and type reporting, and then here we have NPV, we have IRR, and then we have MIRR. We are about to finish. So reporting, type in PVIRR, MIRR. And then since we have generated the net cash flows, now we can go ahead and calculate the NPV, the IRR, and the MIRR. This time we are not going to start assuming this is 15, this is minus, then you calculate the IRR, then the PV. No, we are supposed to calculate it automatically. So can we proceed with the NPV and the IRR?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so type NPV, press the cursor here, click on formulas, financial.
Yeah.
Formulas, financial, and then look for NPV. Formulas, financial, and then look for NPV. Formulas, financial, NPV. So click on NPV. Formulas, financial, click on NPV. Have you mind to click on NPV?
Yes, sir.
Rate. Now the rate is the discount factor. The rate is the discount what? Factor, or the cost of capital. So rate, go to the input area and click on the discount factor, which is 35 point what? 0.4. Are you there, coordinator?
Yes, sir.
Now, after that, you click on value one. You click on value what? You click on value one. After that, you click on value one. After that, you click on value what? Value one. Now go and select the net cash flows from year one up to year 12. When you go to value one, you select the net cash flows from year one. This time there is no zero we are fixing. So value one, click on value one. Have you made to click on value one? Now select the net cash flows from year one up to the end of the project's life. I've said select the net cash flows from year one. From year what? From year one. Value one, select the net cash flows from year one up to the end. In this case, it is from year one up to year 12. In this case, it is from year one up to year what? Up to year 12. Then after that, go to the formula bar. Look at the whiteboard. This is what we call the formula bar. You see where my cursor is?
Yes.
That is the formula bar, okay?
Yes.
Click at the end of the bracket. Click at the end of the what? Click at the end of the bracket. Excuse me. After selecting all the net cash flows from year one up to year 12, you go to the formula bar. and you click at the end of the bracket. Then plus is on the keyboard. Plus, then you click on the net cash flow in year 0. Plus, you click on the net cash flow in year 0. Plus, you click on the net cash flow in year 0. Plus, you click on the net cash flow in year what? In year 0, and then you click on OK. So that is your NPV value. If you get something like this hash, click on the home tab, comma. So this is your NPV value.
Excuse me, sir.
Mm.
I'm getting a different answer from you.
It's okay. Let me repeat the NPV. I've said you press the NPV here. Value here, you click on formulas. You click on what? Formulas. NPV value formulas. Then you look for financial, then look for NPV, and then you click on OK. Rate, you click on the discount factor. Rate, you click on the discount what? On the discount factor. NPV, formulas, financial, NPV. Okay, rate, go and click on the discount factor, and this case, my discount factor is 35.4%. You click on value 1, select all the net cash flows from year 1 up to year what? Up to year 12. Then after selecting the net cash flows from year 1 up to year 12, you go and click at the end of the bracket in the formula bar, plus, and then you click on the net cash flow in year 0, and then you click on what? You click on OK. Good. First check your discount factor. What do you have as a discount factor? Good, let us proceed. IRR. Coordinator, are you okay now?
Yes, I am.
Good. Now we go to IRR.
No.
So when you go to IRR, IRR is the internal rate of return.
Excuse me, sir.
IRR is the internal rate of what? If you have a different answer, relax. We will investigate the answer later. Maybe your discount factor has a problem. Your net cash flows are not the same as mine. So as long as you have got the concept, you will sit down later and see where the problem is.
It's okay.
IRR, press the cursor. You will investigate as long as you have seen how we calculate it. Because maybe the discount factor is wrong, the net cash flows for you use the production cost, etc. But later you will investigate. IRR, because you have another lecture too. IRR, and you want to at least to reach somewhere. IRR, the IRR is the internal rate of return. So click on formulas, financial, and then look for IRR. Formulas, financial. You click on IRR. Formulas, financial, IRR, and then values. Formulas, financial, formulas, financial, and then you look for IRR. Now, when you reach the IRR values, select all of the net cash flows from year one, from year 0 up to the end. Now, that is the difference between IRR and NPV. When you're calculating the IRR, you select the net cash flows from year 0 up to the end. In this case, from year 0 up to period 12. But when I'm calculating the NPV and I'm selecting the net cash flows, I'm supposed to start from year 1 up to the end, and then I add on the what? The initial cost. Then after that, you click on OK. After that, you click on what? You click on OK, where you have started your business of red things. Click on OK. So your IRR is 41 per what? Percent. Your IRR is 41 per what? It's 41%. This time you don't have to cast assuming by 15, assuming a 10, then you calculate. No, you just calculate it automatically. Let me give you a minute, and then you calculate the MIR, you put in the criteria, and then the scenario manager.
Up to year 2. Net cash flow. What do you want? Net cash flow.
Good. So MIR, remember I said MIR is the modified internal rate of return. IRR assumes that when you generate these net cash flows, for example, in year 1, 55 million, you invest the cash flows at 41%. Yet in most cases, the reinvestment rate in the economy is what? It's different. So press the cursor here, go to formulas, financial, and then look for MIRR. Formulas, financial, and then you 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 click on MIRR. Then the values, select all the net cash flows from year 0 up to the end. Value, select all the net cash flows from year 0 up to the what? Up to the end. And then after that, click on the finance rate. In this case, the finance rate is the discount factor. Finance rate. The finance rate is the discount what? Is the discount factor. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
Can we proceed?
yes, we can.
Okay. So finance
Yes, we
rate.
can proceed.
Okay.
We can
Uh,
proceed.
The finance rate is the discount factor. Are we together? You can't
Excuse
do.
me, sir.
Mm.
We can't see your Excel sheet.
Hey, you can no longer see the sheet.
We're not seeing the screen.
Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, finance rate is the discount factor. So go and click on the discount factor, which is 35.4. Finance rate is the discount factor. And the discount factor is the 35.4. And then you click on the reinvest rate. The reinvest rate in this case is 23 per watt percent. So you click on 23 per watt percent. And then you click on OK. You click on what? You click on OK. So the reinvestment rate is the modified internal rate of return is 33 per watt with 33%. Now we put in the decision criteria. What is the criteria for accepting projects using NPV?
We accept the project when NPV is positive
Mhm.
and reject it if NPV is negative.
Any other? When it is 0?
When it is 0, we either accept or leave.
We say you reconsider. If you're a BCom graduate, say reconsider. Okay, press the cursor here. We put in the decision, then we do handle scenario and we call it a what? A lecture. Then we shall see what to do next week. If I don't appear again, then you will know that I'm done with my part. But I'm likely to appear. So press the cursor here, click on formulas. This time we are going to use logical if. This time we are using if. Formulas financial. Formulas financial. Sorry, formulas logical if. Formulas logical if. Formulas logical if. Logical test, click on the NPV value. Logical test, click on the NPV value. Logical test, click on the NPV value. Logical test, click on the NPV what? NPV value. Then type greater than. After clicking on the NPV value, type greater than. Shift and what? Shift and full stop. Then type 0 if the NPV. In simple terms, I have stated logical test. I've clicked on the NPV value and I've typed greater than 0. Shift and full stop to type greater than. Then type 0. Value if true, we accept. Value if false, we reject. In simple terms, if the NPV is greater than 0, you accept. If it is less than 0, you do what? You reject.
We are lost, sir.
Twabula.
Mwabura. Have you seen where there is if or you have even failed to see if?
Twagireba. Seen it.
So if you click on if logical test, now how did you do the payroll if you can't do this simple if? This is simple if you can't do this simple if, now what did you do is the payroll. Logical test, I've said click on the NPV value. Have you managed to click on the NPV value?
So they get things.
Logical test, click on the NPV value. Have you clicked on the NPV value?
Mhm.
Let me leave this one. They are just smooching each other. Type greater than, you press shift and full stop to get greater than, then you type 0. Value if to click where there is value if true, type accept. Click where value there is a value if false, you type reject. And then after that you click on OK. And you click on OK. So it is accept because this NPV is greater than what? Is greater than 0. Now let us put in the decision for IRR. Let us put in the decision for IRR. Press the cursor here. Formulas, logical, if. What is the criteria for accepting projects using IRR?
You know that criteria. Criteria for using IRR. What is the criteria?
The criteria for accepting projects using IRR is if the IRR is greater than the discount factor, you accept, or else you do what? You reject.
If
So-
IRR is greater than.
So logical test, click on the logical test, click on the IRR value. Logical test, click on the IRR value. Logical test, click on the IRR value. Type greater than, shift and the, for you to get greater than, you type shift and full stop. Greater than, then go, after typing greater than, go and click on the discount factor. After typing greater than, go and click on the discount factor. After typing greater than, go and click on the discount factor. After typing greater than, go and click on the discount what? On the discount factor. And then value if true, accept. So click where there is value if true, type accept. Click where there is value if false, type reject. You type reject. You type reject. And then after that, you click on what? You click on OK. So it is still accept because this IRR is greater than the discount what? Factor. Now let me handle part C and we call it a lecture. Because you can handle part D because part D is Golosik. We have been handling Golosik. So part C. So go ahead and you go ahead and find the criteria for accepting projects using MIRR and put in that criteria. Let us go to part C. Do you see where there is part C? Because I'm intending to finish in the next 5 minutes. Part C, what is your decision if the inflation rate in the second half of the project's life is 10%? So here you use scenarios. You use what? Scenarios. And yesterday people were quarreling that I've not taught you how to use scenarios. So let me show you how to use scenarios. What is your decision if the inflation rate in the second half of the project's life is 10%? Now, scenarios will help you to look at the different what? At the key input factors of the project and the project's viability. Because some key input factors may change and the project's viability may also change from accept to reject or from reject to what? Accept. So now when you're handling part C, go and click. Do I need to remove some people again? Let me see whom to remove. Epiro Martin and the Dakota Janet. So this is a family. So coordinate out together.
Yes, we are together.
Okay, now we're handling part C. What is your decision if the inflation rate in the second half of the project's life is 10%? So here you have to use scenarios. You have to use what? Scenarios. So click on data. Then you go to what if analysis. Data. Click on what? Click on data. Then what if analysis. Data. What if analysis. And then you click on scenario manager. Data. What if analysis. Scenario manager. Data, what if analysis, scenario manager. Then you get the scenario manager dialog box. You get the scenario manager dialog what? Dialog box. Then click on add. Click on what? Click on add. Scenario manager dialog box. Then you click on what? You click on add. Scenario name change in what? What is your decision if the discount factor changes to what? 10%. So scenario manager, add scenario name. What is your decision if the inflation rate changes to, so change in inflation. So the scenario name is changing what? In inflation. Now you go to the changing cell. Coordinator, in this case, what is the changing cell? Coordinator.
Yes.
Hello? In this case, what is the changing cell?
It is the one for inflation.
The cell that has the inflation rate in the second half of the project's life, okay? So go where there is changing cell, press backspace to delete whatever you have at that point. Then go to the input area and click on that cell that has inflation in the second half of the project's what? Life, which is 13%. That is if the inflation in the second half is, So the changing cell is that cell that has the inflation rate in the second half of the project's life. So have you mind to click on that cell? Coordinator.
Yes, sir.
Then after that, you click on what? Okay. Now enter values for each of the changing cell. The changing cell, the inflation rate is changing from 13 to what? To 20%, not so? Enter values for each of the changing cells. So the inflation rate is changing from 13 because initially it is 13. Now we want to see what happens if it is 10 per what? 10%. So enter the values for each of the changing cells, then type 10 per what? Type 10%. And then you click on OK. After that, you click on what? OK. Now, remember that when you click on OK, for us, we are interested in seeing how the NPV, the IRR, and the MIRR will change when the inflation changes from 13 to what? To 10%. So when you click after typing 10% and you click on OK, when you come here to the scenario manager, I want you to click on summary. This where there is summary.
Yes.
Click on summary. You click on summary. And then after clicking on summary, go and highlight this part. The NPV, what the value, the IRR, the value. So highlight this part. NPV, the word NPV, the value, the decision. IRR, the value, the decision. MIRR, the value. So highlight that part. And then after that, you click on OK. After that, you click on what? OK. So now you have the scenario summary. So you have the scenario what? Summary. So if the inflation is 13%, the IMPV will be 83, this will be 41, this will be 33. However, if the inflation changes to 10%, the NPV will reduce, the discount factor will reduce, and the MIRR now will change from accept to what? To reject. The modified internal rate of return will change from accept to what? To reject. So basically, scenarios will help you to look at the changes in the key input factors of the project and the project's viability. So if you change the inflation, if the inflation changes to 20%, the project will no longer be viable using the modified internal rate of what? Return. It will, the decision will change from accept to what? From accept to reject. I believe that's enough for today. You can handle the remaining parts. We have been using the GoloSeq. Any question before we can end the lecture? Coordinator. Coordinator. Before I can forget, there is revision exercise 1 and there is revision exercise 2 on appraisal. There is PAL and there is MARAS. So when would you like to hand in this one to send the work?
Next week.
After 1 week.
After 1 week, that is Friday next week.
Yes.
Yeah, the first one was when?
Tuesday next week.
Then this one will be Thursday, Friday.
Friday, Arakata.
It's okay, Friday, no problem. Postponing a problem does not mean that you have solved it. Yes. Any question?
No.
Excuse me, sir.
Mm.
I would like to ask, how do they set these questions? And how many numbers do we do in the final paper?
The way you see these exercises is the way the question is in the exam as set. Actually, some of these questions are from the past papers.
How many numbers?
You thought there is a hard way of setting or a friendly way?
Yes.
Both. How
Normally,
many questions?
you do 3 from section A, that is payroll, amortization, appraisal, cash flow. So we said before you choose 3, and then we make the accounting software compulsory. Any other question? Yes.
How do we get the accept on NPV?
We said you use if. So if I put the cursor here, okay? Are you on?
Yes.
Then you go to data, You click on formulas, logical, and then you click on if. Okay. Formulas, logical, if. Can you do that?
Yes.
Then logical test. You click on then PV value. Then you type greater than, shift and the full stop. You press shift and the full stop, then greater than is 0, you type 0. Then you go to value if true, accept. You type accept. Value if false, you type reject. In simple terms, if then PV is greater than 0, I accept. If it is less than 0, I reject.
Okay.
And then you click on OK.
Thank you.
What about MIRR?
Up again.
MRRR.
The criteria of accepting projects using MIRR is if the MIRR is greater than the discount factor, you accept, or else you reject. So members, that's enough for today. You have another lecture. Do the exercises, send the work. We shall plan for next week. Is that okay? You can start the video. I may look at some of the faces. Some of you are studying from the video. If the MIRR is greater than the discount factor, you accept, or else you do what? You reject.